Do you have a dog? If so, you'd probably do anything for it. It's hard to resist those puppy dog eyes staring at you, especially when it wants something. Yes, the love for our pets is real. The problem is that we often don't realize we're hurting our dogs. In many ways, their lives hang in the balance. Let's talk about 6 things you did not realize are killing your dog. Number 1. Heartworms. If you care about your pets, this one might be hard to wrap your head around. Did you know your pet can get worms in their heart? Heartworm is a disease caused by parasitic worms. It can result in lung disease, organ damage, and heart failure. The worms enter the body through mosquito bites. As the infection spreads into the animal, larvae from the mosquito begin to grow within the heart. From here, they can spread to the lungs and blood vessels. While this process happens over the span of 7 months, a fully grown worm can live inside the dog for up to 7 years. Heartworms can grow up to 12 inches in length. Even scarier is that these worms will mate and spread their own larvae. At one time, your dog can have as many as 250 worms living inside of them. This sounds like a death sentence, doesn't it? Well, it can be if your dog is not treated in time. If your dog sounds like they're having trouble breathing, they need medical attention. Other symptoms include a rough and persistent cough. If the dog is tired after mild activity, this could also signal an unwanted visitor inside their heart. When you get to the vet, one way they check for heartworms is through a blood test. Number 2. Improper dental care. Plain and simple, keep your dog's teeth clean. This means brushing them on a regular. Sounds a little weird, right? Well, not if you're a responsible dog owner. While it doesn't need to be done every day, the more you clean your dog's teeth, the healthier they'll be. Giving your dogs a careful toothbrush will prevent gum disease, bad breath, tooth loss, and pain. On top of brushing their teeth, there are other methods. These include tooth wipes, which are rubbed against your dog's teeth to get rid of plaque. Cleaning their teeth only takes a few minutes. If you want your pet to be around longer, this is something you have to consider. Number 3. Poor diet. This one's pretty obvious, but it still needs to be mentioned. If your dog is not eating correctly, it can be life-threatening. There are plenty of poor-quality dog foods out on the market that your animal should stay away from. There is no feeding schedule for dogs. When and how much you feed them often depends on several different factors. If your dog has some sort of condition, it may require a special feeding schedule. Puppies need small feedings. At the same time, they need to be fed frequently. Around the 4-month mark, they will require 3 feedings a day. But not long after, they will only need 2. Number 4. No vaccinations. Young dogs require several vaccines. I'm talking about within the first few months of their life. Not doing this can leave them vulnerable to several diseases and viruses. Your dog needs to be protected from not only heartworm but illnesses like canine hepatitis. This is a contagious viral infection that damages various organs. They also have to watch out for canine distemper. This is another virus that affects your dog's respiratory system and gastrointestinal tract. Have you ever heard of kennel cough? This is an infection that happens as a result of inflammation in your dog's upper airways. Between its first 8 to 18 weeks of life, your dog requires something called the DHPP. This is a combination vaccine that prevents 4 different types of viruses: distemper, hepatitis, parainfluenza, and parvovirus. Number 5. Lack of exercise. Yes, your dog needs exercise. I'm not talking about taking them to some sort of doggy gym. This can be as simple as bringing them outside for a walk. If your dog has been inside for an extended period of time, it's going to have a ton of energy pent up. Since puppies are always growing, it wouldn't hurt to take them on a couple of short walks throughout the day. The reason I say short walks is because longer walks are harder on them, as they are still developing. If your puppy isn't getting the proper outdoor time, it can become destructive around the house. If your dog is older and of a high-energy breed, they require much more exercise. it's important to figure out what kind of dog you have and just how much physical activity will benefit them. Number 6. No vet visits. Much like humans, animals need checkups. If your dog is in good health, you are recommended to take them in once a year for an annual physical exam. A puppy should have their first medical exam pretty much right after you get them. During this exam, the vet will check their health and make sure they are free of parasites. Throughout their years, they need to be taken in for certain types of checkups. When your dog gets into its senior years, which is usually after they turn 7, vets recommend they come in twice a year. This is because older dogs are much more vulnerable to health problems. Loving your dog means being mindful of the habits that could be slowly harming them. By making small adjustments to your routine, you can significantly improve your dog's quality of life. These changes may seem simple, but they can help ensure that your beloved companion lives a long, healthy, and happy life.